Here I've made the shelf that's going to house all my electronics. This is just a cardboard mock-up of what it'll look like. That's the largest diameter and shape that I can get in there and out of there easily. As I build the components, I'll have to place them on there so I can lift this thing up and be able to pull it out like this. And inside you'll notice that I've built the second side of the support system. This is just built out of aluminum. A couple of supports coming off the adapter plate bolted together. This end is not critical as the other end is. It has to be steel because the entire torque of the motor is pulling against that end. At this end there's no motor pressure to it. It's just a support system, so I've made it out of aluminum. Let's see if I can get in there and kind of see what I did. It's really simple. It's fall, y'all. There are spiders everywhere. This may be too dark to see, but I'm going to try to give it a shot. The cardboard cutout is the piece that will fit as my decking in the motor compartment. And this is the first iteration of the layout that I'm going to have. And I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try, well, first of all, this is my pump. Put out a gallon a minute. It's from a sprayer, and it runs on 12 volts DC. It's my Zilla with the cooling components facing this direction. The business end is over here. This will hold most of my 12 volt components plus the hairball. It's the square D vacuum cutoff pump. There's the vacuum pump for the brakes, the reservoir, and this is going to be my high voltage box. What I'm doing different is, rather than using an aluminum plate, which I've used in the past, I'm going to try to use a PVC plate. I have this large sheet of 3/16 inch PVC. May just go a little bit larger. I may try some 1/4 inch PVC, but nonetheless it seems to be pretty sturdy sitting like that, and I'll have just about that much support underneath it at all times anyway. So I don't know, I'm just going to consider that for a little while. I have tentatively installed the cooler for the Zilla right here. Tried several different ways. This was actually the easiest way to do it. Just use some strut, and I banded it to that. It's actually pretty sturdy. The intake and output will be on the bottom, so it will fill and drain easily, and that will also stabilize it as the tubing comes in the bottom. And this is where the PVC plate will sit, here to here, and that cardboard cutout fits directly in there very easily. I've also installed the fan. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's right here, and that is for the cooling of the condenser for the air conditioning unit. I still have to do a little work on the struts for that. I'll take them down just a little bit on each side so that the hood will shut. I've added one more little thing here. I've got a fluid reservoir. This actually came off my Volkswagen Jetta. It's the power steering pump fluid reservoir, but it's has an inlet and an outlet. so it's a recirculating reservoir, and we can use that as an expansion chamber for this. And I've got everything sitting in here temporarily just on the cardboard sheet. I've decided I'm going to actually place the square D pump in a vertical position rather than horizontal, and just let the tubing come out underneath, go under and flow into the chamber, and I can still have the gauges and so forth. But since I'm going to put it on a big PVC sheet, it doesn't matter, and I've got several inches of room underneath to let the tubing drape in a comfortable fashion. I have plenty of room up here for my pump. I didn't set the Zilla in here because it's too heavy for the cardboard, but it should sit right there very easily. And I've had to modify where I put this box just a little bit. I had to move it a little closer to the front so it wouldn't hit this back wall right here when I try to take the lid off of it. And I had to move it just a little bit towards the midline of the car, just a little bit, once again, so I can get the lid off of it easily. This lid will come off this one very easily. So that's where we are. Well, I've come up with even another setup now. I'm going to be using a 2 foot by 2 foot square PVC plate that's a 1/2 inch thick. I think it should be strong enough to support this. And so what I did is I cut a square out and made a little notch in it on the side and used that as my surface area to work with. And after rearranging things a few times, this is what I've come up with. My high voltage box will be over here, my DC to DC converter, my vacuum pump. The low voltage box will be put in a vertical position. I have my vacuum chamber sitting next to that, and I should be able to slide the cover piece straight down in here and secure it in 2 locations. I did the same thing in my Jetta. I've got the Zilla sitting right here, close enough that it can have access to the high power box very easily without having to curve the cables very much. My square D cutoff switch will be right here. There's a 4-way valve that comes off. I'm sorry, 4-way valve that comes off here. That will have a little pressure gauge on the end of it, and then the pump for the fluid circulation for the Zilla will be right here, and it flows. Will be coming in from here, going out this way, and into the Zilla, out of the Zilla, and back down around to my reservoir. Down to the heat dissipation unit, and then out of that into the reservoir, which is sitting right here, and then back around. So that's kind of my setup.